Okay.
Which is very, very important to me.
Yes. Okay.
So you tried speaking in tongues to her, not knowing that she had the gift of interpretation.
I tell you what, she still have me speaking in tongues.
Welcome to the New Foundation Christian Ministries B1 Marriage Ministry video podcast. I am your host, Donald McFarlane, and with me is
Your co-host, Natalie Irving Mattox.
very well. So we do some of the
Yes, I want to thank all our viewers for watching. We do appreciate all your comments. I have 2 anniversary greetings for this month of September. Evan and Carla Walters from St. Catherine, Jamaica, and Damian and Lana Fisher from Kingston, Jamaica. Happy anniversary when it comes. Thank you.
Indeed, and so say all of us. Do have yourselves a happy anniversary.
Yes.
Well, here we are once again, Natalie. And this episode, or shall I say episodes, who knows how many, we will be focusing on B1 marriage, but from a man's perspective, Natalie. You know, I am excited about this because I have a heart for men.
I know. You love them. You love them.
I love men. And sometimes, too often, men are not vocal on matters, especially coming in the context of a church. But I am very excited about the men who represent the male folks today. Let me advise us that we are talking about marriage, relationship issues. We are essentially continuing under the R's, the triple R's of the red flag and the reasons, yes, and the recommendations. But these men will speak about some things that they are now convinced are not good for men in a relationship, and some things that are good, some things that should not happen, and some things that are supposed to happen. Yes, so I must bring them in on it now, and I'll ask you, my friends, to introduce yourself on the set here to our audience. Who's taking the first shot at it? All right, there you go.
All right, my name is Oral Foster. I am married for 18 years. I'm a Christian, that is very important. I'm a member of the New Foundation Christian Ministries. And I work for the Ministry of National Security.
Very well.
Thanks, Oral, for
Foster
coming.
himself.
Yes. That's what we say.
I should say this man and I is my domino partner sometimes.
So, but we won't lick your for 6 today.
Different game, yes.
My name is Mark Mattox. I'm a member of the New Foundation Christian Ministries. I'm into nutrition and I'm into exercise, fitness, and I operate a gym.
Very well. All right, so the name Mattox.
I know you were coming with that one. So I was hoping we could keep that a secret.
You're related here?
It's my wife.
Oh. Well, I was hoping, Mark, that you'd have had freedom to speak as a man, but I don't know, will Natalie been here inhibit you?
No,
not at all.
No.
Not
She
at
gave
all.
me ultimate freedom.
Ultimate freedom to be
I'll
yourself.
just keep in balance.
All right, so here we are, my friends. Now, like I said, we want to keep this thing real. And coming from you, you are coming from a place of experience, whether it be personal or having, from time to time we link up as men and talk, and we know that what we speak is just how we feel and what we experience. And that's what I want to represent. I know I don't have to say much more because we are not here to round up our mouths, Brother George. But we are here to speak it as it is. Help us then to understand, because you'd have journeyed the path of a relationship clearly that predates marriage. And perhaps not just 1, 2, 3, who knows, 4 or 5. That is quite permissible prior to marriage. I know some people, it's dating and it's coming to, before you come to that decision. What then represented, you'd say, from a man's perspective, the red flags as you would look at a damsel? Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, I know I come from a Christian
Christian
background. Yeah, no.
all right.
So I was brought up in a Christian home. My mother, traditional Christian, and my father was, his grandfather was a pastor, and then he lost his way somewhere along the way, and then he found back his way. But it's typically from a Christian background. However, I've been from a Christian background. I always love women who look good right throughout. So I would normally look for a woman who appease me in terms of looking good. But
not to disturb your thought, because we want to mince this thing properly, You are seemingly suggesting that this Christian background influence you to look for a woman who looks good. Is that what you're saying to me, Mark?
The Christian background would lead me to go towards finding a woman with good character and good principles, Christian principles. But I have another part of me, which I think probably all men right across, whether it be Christian or non-Christian, you would have that natural part of you that is drawn to how a woman look.
What do you mean by that?
How she appear, how nice she look in her face, and how well she shape, and so forth. So I'm driven by the outlook of a woman, and also the inward beauty.
Driven by the outlook.
Because
Okay.
you're attracted to.
Yes.
And also the background of being a Christian.
Yes.
That you'd also want her to have some good qualities.
Yes.
Some good internal qualities, which you'd actually see afterwards. So it's the outward beauty first, and then afterwards you look for that inward quality.
So when you look before becoming a Christian, you're looking at character and curves.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
I love that.
All right. We'll hear a little more from him. First, you weigh on this subject now and tell us from where you sit.
Well, there may be a long list as it relates to red flags in a relationship. For me, a critical one is how you handle disagreements. The healthiest of relationships will have disagreements or arguments. Right? No matter how you love the person, there will be disagreements as the relationship progresses. It's a given. Try as you may, you will never see eye to eye on every issue with your spouse.
But hold it there fast, because you're jumping into a big meaty problem. Listen there now, because we are going to get into that. Yes, but take us before we get into the Holy of Holies. Prior to this relationship, yes, this is you now as a man out there looking at the damsels, yes? What is it that you look forward to, or what you don't like about what you're seeing in moving towards a relationship? We are going to come back and go into the issues within. But like his was, like we said, character and curves. What you see when you're looking at in those days?
Yes, it will begin with conversations, right? And we see where the conversations progresses. Now, for me, when we have disagreement, which for me is a must in a relationship, right? I had an aunt who said to me once that, if two people are in a relationship and you don't have discussions, then one is an idiot. So you will have disagreements, but how you handle it, the disagreement, That is a sign.
I want to lead him on one-on-one, you know, because
Before you get to the disagreements, the conversations, what is it that you...
And I'm not discounting unless
Yes.
you're making this point that the person need to be conversational.
Right.
If that's what you are saying. In other words, when remember, we're talking about before you married, we talk about when you used to roam street and you see a girl on the corner. I want to know what are some of the things that you look forward to in this girl? Is it her complexion? Is it her curves? Is it that you have to talk to her first?
Definitely for me, it's about the conversation.
Conversation.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if you can't work things out, it doesn't really matter. Not that I'm going to be looking for an ugly person, Sir Mark.
Tell us what you're looking for then. Tell us.
What are you looking for, yes.
It's nothing physical.
No, it's not necessarily physical. The priority is about how we can relate.
Oh,
right. So I'm always looking forward to the conversations and see how.
Okay, I see.
No, the red flag for me is if we have disagreements once we start this conversation.
Yes.
And we start being disagreeable. We start attacking each other instead of the problem. Red flag.
Well, here this lady say no. So you don't want a woman who answers you. That's what you're saying? You should talk and she don't answer you. I'm just asking.
No. I want conversation. But the conversation must not include disrespect.
Right.
I get you.
Exactly. I just want the ladies
I was just about to go there.
So before you find it, comfortable to have a relationship, not marriage yet, a relationship, it seems high on your agenda. You want somebody who you can have, can I say, conversational intimacy. You're big on that.
Yes.
Yes?
And I will deliberately disrupt the peace at the onset just to see how we deal with disagreements. Because that is very important.
Okay, I see why. Yes.
This is a very interesting one. So, Natalie, I'm hearing Foster saying, once you can converse, even if you...
Not so hot.
Yes.
Not that you want an ugly woman.
Well, no, because we know care.
Fundamentally.
And that is a hot species that we have on this set.
Exactly.
So we know
Which is why I'm on. Exactly.
Yes.
No, that is serious, because that is why I'm on that.
Right.
Yeah.
I see. So then a big red flag for Foster. He's going to engage this person. Having seen her, Mark, and there's a little tingling.
I want to pull it out of him.
Go ahead, Natalie. That's why you are here.
So Foster, so you are saying that from the onset, what you admire in a woman is the fact that she can converse in a non-threatening way.
Yes, that is important. But as it relates to a red flag, right? For me, a sign of a healthy relationship is when you can have disagreements without being disagreeable.
Okay. Right? Okay.
That is very, very important to me. Yes.
It's a very interesting posture, different from what some want to say. Typical Jamaican man.
Exactly. I'm very fascinated. I'm actually blown over by it. Okay.
And our audience will meet Mrs. K. and Foster because she can converse.
Exactly. No, well, that is true. Because that is true. She kind of balance it with both the looks and the conversation.
Yes.
So you're sure that's not part of it too, Foster?
Listen, I have a very beautiful wife.
Yes. That's what I want to hear.
So I consider myself lucky.
Right, exactly. Now you're talking to me, right? So both of them are important.
Yes.
Right. Now you're talking.
Marriage, any healthy marriage, there will be disagreements.
I agree.
But from on the onset, if you find that you cannot resolve your differences
Okay.
in a respectful way, then for me that's a red flag.
Okay. I see. Okay. I see where he's at.
But you know, Natalie, help me here because these are real men talking. And I recollect on another show that you, Natalie, said that there are some women who, even though they disagree with many things, they just say everything's all right. Everything's
That's right.
all right.
Yep.
Yes. So Foster would be in trouble
That's it.
to sift through,
Right.
because people, you said the women want the ring.
Yes.
So they will accept. They won't
Right.
allow these conversations to cause
That's right.
conflicts.
That's right.
That cannot be resolved.
Yes.
So he may be in a little spot of bother then if these women want the ring and men and
Yes.
just agree.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
First. So your test, I don't know, how would you carry out a test? If there are some men like you, how would they carry out this test? Because this is important to them then.
They don't just want a sweet mouth because we could just sweet talk
Right.
him.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but no matter how much a woman is going to agree with you on a whole lot of issues, women are emotional, right? There are things that you say that will disrupt the peace.
Oh,
So you will pick it
I
up.
will
You will
be
pick it
very
up. Okay.
deliberate.
Okay, I see his point. I see where he's going.
I see.
Now we're talking to
right,
me.
because
Yes.
if we cannot deal with our differences in a respectful way, we're not going to get married. Plain and simple. Right?
But you know, first, Natalie will tell you that women can be cantankerous.
Oh my goodness.
But we will continue the conversation then. So for you, because there are some persons who are looking on this episode. Coming back to you, Mark, because I want to clarify the matter clearly. In your pre-marriage and perhaps even pre-Christianity, because you are making it sound to me and to my viewers, Mark, that you're born as a Christian. I want to know, were you born a Christian, Mark?
Well, this is what my mother tell me. Even when I was in the womb, I was at church.
Say to me, so your mother is saying that you were a Christian before you were born.
Well, I'm just saying that. In the womb.
But you don't believe that. You don't believe that. Mark,
I believe that, but however, I'm a thinking person, and I basically go with how I feel and observe and so forth.
Right.
To the question when you talk about the red flag,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
it's funny because growing up in a Christian home as well, I observe my mother,
Yes.
right, and I would say some things, some qualities about my mother I like.
Yes.
I would also look outside.
Right.
To like girls for those type of qualities.
Yes.
But also some qualities that my mother don't have. I kind of find like, you know, really sexy with women, how them would man, that same natural thing.
Yeah.
Right? So you want them to be good in terms of have good values and so forth.
Yes.
But at the same time you want them to be a little spunky.
Yeah.
Right?
And your mother was kind of holy.
Yeah, man. So it's like it's me and self and Christianity and what I like and what I like to see, you know?
Yes.
Because as I said before, I'm attracted to a certain type of woman.
Yes.
You know? And part of it also, as I said before, was basically my observation of my mother.
Yes.
And also observing girls and so I like and so forth.
Yes.
And one of the original red flag for me at that point in time was when a girl start talk, like how she talk. Like,
Okay.
like aggression,
Okay.
and we don't call person seem to be rude.
Yes.
Like, you know, you have some girl with us behave boisterous and vulgar.
Yes.
We find unattractive.
That turn you off.
Yeah, man.
As a man, you don't like a vulgar woman.
Not like a vulgar woman at all.
But let me defend the woman. they would say you interpret it as being vulgar. It's just that we are born a strong-willed woman. Is it that you're weak and you cannot deal with our strength of what we're born with? You're calling it vulgar?
Strength is vulgar in terms of voice and pitch.
Oh, voice and pitch is important to the man.
Yeah, voice and pitch and how them express themselves, but not a strong will. I actually like strong-willed women.
You do?
I find it attractive as well. But I like the vulgarity of how them like in bringing across whatever them try, so them belittle the man and belittle themselves. Because if you talk, if you portray yourself as you can't express yourself calmly, or you can't choose particular words with us, calmly bring across a message.
Right.
Then I kind of find it a bit like the person, not have that the ability to reason.
Well, we are going to get there now, because when we have the woman on the set, they might say, consistent to what you men always say, that we are more emotional.
Exactly.
Then how is it that you don't expect that when we talk, it comes with a bit of volume?
Right, express ourselves in a strong tone.
Well, we will have, because these are some of the differences that, because you are going ahead of us now in the episode as to what, even in the relationship, or not to be, we will have to come back to that.
Yes.
But you are saying one of the red flags for you is somebody who comes across as being vulgar, and that.
Let me give one instance. I remember one day I was walking, right, and there was this girl in particular. I find her very attractive.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, wow, that girl is really attractive.
By what you saw.
By what I saw.
Right.
And then she opened my mouth and was like, oh my God, whoa.
That's poison.
That's why I'm more for saying, if she could just close her mouth,
yes,
it wouldn't be like perfect,
Yes.
She opened her mouth and it spoiled it.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Oh, dear God.
Got you. So you see them, one of the interesting. I want to come back to Foster, because I want to clarify something with Foster. But you see them, and what you want, this is not prayer marriage, is a woman who reflects certain characteristics like that of your mother, good qualities.
And I felt comfortable with that.
Right. Yeah. However, your mother is a kind of, we know them holy Christian women. You wanted a mix with somebody who was spunky.
Yes.
Spunky.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
You want the spunky. You want
spunky.
Yeah.
Well, I won't ask him if that was what you saw. If that was what you saw, the spunkiness of Natalie. We will come back to that, Mark. But let's just see, we clarify now with Foster, who was a very interesting thing.
Very true.
So first, you are saying, like Mark, red flag could be how the person look. So help me to understand a little bit more, because what we seem to be hearing is that your red flag only emerge after you start having conversation and see how people.
There we go. I think Mark and I agree on certain things.
Yes.
Right? For me, though, the red flag will not be raised prior to conversation.
Oh.
So it is
even when you don't dress good.
Don't dress good can be sexy.
Let us hear this.
But the red flag for me will be raised after we start having conversations. Right?
Yeah.
And like I said before, even though we're using different terms, for me, if we can have disagreements and hug up after and be good friends after.
Yes.
Then for me, that's a sign of a healthy relationship in the making.
Yes.
This is one worth pursuing.
Yes.
Right? But it doesn't really matter how beautiful she is, how intelligent she is.
Yeah.
If she raises her voice at me in a conversation, that's a red flag.
That's history.
Yes.
Natalie, we will have to bring in the counseling psychologist, because he wants to hug and those kind of emotions after disagreement.
After disagreement.
But that's not how it works for women.
That's not how it works.
You have to say something right in here.
Yes,
so no,
I
Natalie.
think I understand where they're at. You know,
Yes.
I think for me, I tend to get over things easily.
You do.
So I also perhaps like to know that, you know, if we have an argument, that we don't sleep on it. But at the same time, it depends on what the disagreement is about.
Oh.
You understand? So I can't just necessarily have a disagreement and you expect sex right after that.
Oh.
I want to process it. I want us to talk about the issue. So if that's where Foster is at, then I can understand.
You can understand.
Right.
But you said that's what you disagree with.
No.
Because he wants to hug up afterwards and whatever comes with the
It
hug
depends. That's why I say it depends on
the what.
on the what, right?
Why
What
the disagreement
Why
was.
the disagreement, what we're arguing about.
I see.
Because it may take the entire night for us to flesh it out.
So you want
So
the
no
detail
hug
to
up
flesh
might
it
not
out.
necessarily come right after because we may need some more details. So that's what I say, it depends.
But here's the difference now. The hug might not necessarily be done because we're pursuing intimacy at that time.
Okay.
The hug is just a gesture to say, yes, we understand that we have differences, but we're not going to be attacking each other. The focus will be on the problem. Right?
Yeah.
I see.
That's where
So just a question then. So if you meet somebody and you decide to pursue the person, right? So as you said, the looks and so on don't mean anything. So you
I
mean
wouldn't
the
say
person.
don't mean anything. And if you see my wife, you'll understand
Exactly.
Right,
Right.
right.
So that's why I was hitting at you, right? Because I know that must be important. So if you meet somebody and you two get into a relationship and the person start talking to you, and so before you thought this person was perfect because she was really nice when you met her in terms of how she spoke. But then in the relationship, she start like how her mannerism or how she speak may not transcend how you expect it. That's what you're talking about. So once you feel like, okay, she raised her voice or she may talk to you harshly, things like those. That's what I'm trying to get from you. What do you mean when you say that conversations is what? Once a lady raises her voice, then that's it for you. What do you mean? Because I'm still trying to understand.
I want to go back to the point where I said that I will deliberately say things and do things that will lead to an argument.
Okay.
Why?
Oh, you will do, okay.
Yes.
Make an assessment.
And this is why I'm going to be doing that. I want to know how we handle disagreements. Because if we can't handle disagreements respectfully, that is a definite red flag for me.
Gotcha.
Right?
And I get
It begs having a little insight and a little birdie said something to me. I will have to ask you this on the set. How did you meet your wife?
Well, that's a very interesting story.
Yeah.
I'm happy with you.
But when I met her, I was actually studying Spanish, practicing Spanish.
Yes.
And I did see this very beautiful lady in the bank. And,
Yeah.
you know, I did tell her that I want to make love to her and I want to marry her. I'm just practicing Spanish.
You were saying that in Spanish.
Right. And she turned around and responded that I was so rude.
In Spanish.
So it took me like weeks begging her for dates just to explain that I'm not that kind of a person. So it took me months of dates to explain to her that, listen, I was only practicing Spanish. This is, I am not this kind of person. I'm a person of integrity, of good character. And it took me quite a while to convince her, right? But spending all of that time together, I got to know her.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And of course, when we have our minor disagreements, it was dealt with in such a way that, you know, it drew me even more to her.
Okay.
Because it was dealt with in a matter of respect,
Okay.
which is very, very important to me.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay,
so
good. I see.
you tried speaking in tongues to her, not knowing that she had the gift of interpretation.
I tell you what, she still have me speaking in tongues.
Make sure George catch that.
Well, let us go over this side of Mark. Mark, you didn't have to speak in tongues. Tell us a little bit about how you met Natalie.
Well, I met Natalie. It's actually close to the gym.
Oh.
She was passing one day, and I saw her. I think we saw each other and probably say hi to each other first. I say hi to her, and then next time I think she drove past. Yeah, I think that was it.
No.
Yeah.
When you
I think
say
that
she
was
drove past, there are many vehicles that pass,
Yeah,
Mark.
man, no man. She was living close to the gym at the time.
Oh.
She was
Yeah.
living close to the gym at the time.
Yes. And what?
No, she. I mean, she's very attractive.
Oh.
So I said, yeah, man, she look really nice. Oh, yes, Sarah again, you know.
Yes, yes.
and that was it. But I saw her a second time,
Yes.
and then afterwards, we stopped. She stopped by. She stopped, and I was going somewhere, and she asked me if I wanted a drop, and I said yes.
Mark, you're a shy guy?
Very.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, them some shy, but we work with it.
Okay, all right.
All right.
So far as this is concerned, Natalie, it has been a very exciting time talking to real men.
Yes.
Real married men
Yes.
who were confident enough to speak the men issues and feel comfortable that they can go home tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much, Oral. I just want to thank our viewers again. I want to thank our sponsor, Mattox Health and Fitness, our resident producer, George Malcolm Walker, our program director, Damian Diaguilar. Thanks to our wonderful viewers. I just want to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Foundation Christian Ministries. Like us on Facebook at New Foundation Christian Ministries and on Instagram at B1 Marriage Ministry. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
See you next time.